This first piece, actually the two pieces I'm reading are from a couple days ago. But I had somebody give me kind of a vague topic to write about. I didn't know really how to write about it, but this is how it goes. They told me to write about my favorite color. Imagery of blue. It's engaging, can almost be as dark as night. It complements the sun and brings the sky to life. Dances with your sorrows, making you hum to the testing of your faith, makes you taste the salt as you float through each wave, digesting the fruits of your labor, picking the berries off that forbidden tree, highlights your accomplishments, bubbling under the fire of your misery, collaborating with your doubts and scorching through your veins, seeing your worth through that telescope called pain, an inviting scent of clean linen air from the promotions of Glade, the blue raspberry taste that lingers and stains your tongue, flashbacks of carnival games of the young, giving vibrancy to different combinations in the spectrum of creativity, substituting its importance, letting the shaded area shine, a so-called team player through the grapevine. The background to the moon reflecting off the waters, it mixes well but stands quite stable on its own. Make it what you want, whatever you put your mind to. It's constant and never fades. Just let it guide you with this never-ending embrace.
Squeeze around the base.
You got it. You got it.
It's moving up. Okay. Got it. Sorry. All right. This next one, it's kind of an issue I've been dealing since middle school. I didn't really come to understand it until high school and college and whatnot. But I feel like it's an issue, and whatever race or ethnicity or religion, whatever, I feel like we just need to get to know one another. Anyway, this is how it goes. The title is The Whitest Black Girl I Know. You're the whitest black girl I know, said a white lady at work. Well, most of them came into agreement, even though I'm the darker of the 4 other black co-workers of mine. In a majority white-based office, I tend to not put one race compared to another, because in most cases I tend to not care. But growing up in a predominant white neighborhood in school, the distinction is there. It's that indirect tendency that keeps the tension thick in the air. They think it's cool, saying, oh, she don't care, she agrees with us. But they just don't know. No, honey child, silence is not agreement. It's just not playing ignorance with ignorance to dabble in your experience. Science is letting you think what you want and say what you must. Because we are not friends nor buddy-buddy, we just work together within these walls. That is all. This all mainly coming from the white girl. That's more hood, because she has that slang down, and the snap of her neck is just that good. She has more curves than a slightly fluid figure, and because her referral to her child's father is that's my baby daddy black. She has all the characteristics in her eyes to being a typical black girl, yet so blind to the fact that the melatonin still doesn't fit her disguise. See, back in high school, my best friend, who was white, we are still good friends till this day, but this was junior year on our first day. She picked me up from school around 7:30 a.m., and as soon as we drove off, she started blasting Lil Wayne through the stereo system. I immediately turned it off. I said I don't listen to Lil Wayne. Her response, oh, you don't? I thought this is what you listen to. Clueless and lost, all because of what she didn't know. Didn't take the time to ask until after the fact that she didn't know. Don't get me wrong, I love hip-hop and rap culture. Lil Wayne is just not my vice, especially still being half asleep, still wishing it was night. Anyhow, I didn't know speaking with pronunciation and knowledge that's meant to help us grow. With the lack of head snaps and so-called ghetto slang to ego, the smacking of lips, or them big booty girls. Not that anything is wrong with that. That's clearly just not in my DNA, I must say. I must have a neon sign stuck on my forehead saying this girl is just not hood or black enough to stand up to that typical standard. Don't get me wrong, because I've heard it from them black girls too. magnifying ignorance in this never-ending cesspool? Why are we holding each other's standards on just a typical scale? Why not push one another to step out and get out of our boxes onto a grander scale? It's a simple thing to do. Next time you have a thought, just ask before you speak. So now I have a few questions of my own. What is the definition of a stereotypical black girl supposed to be? Or how about we stop asking dumb questions and learn about one another the way it's supposed to be?